HDMI. What is HDMI? HDMI is an acronym for High Definition Multimedia Interface. It's actually pretty explanatory of exactly what it is. In layman's terms, HDMI is a type of digital connection that's capable of transmitting high definition video and high resolution audio over a single cable. What is HDMI used for? It's a single cable solution for HD video and surround sound audio. So everything is contained in this one cable. Like with S-Video, I was always confused because you'd have an S-Video cable, but you'd still need two other cables for your audio. With HDMI, it's all in one. High definition multimedia interface cables are the primary cables used to transmit high definition digital video and audio data to consumer visual media displays. What connectors are used? There are 5 HDMI connector types. Type A. It has 19 pins with bandwidth to support all SDTV, EDTV, and HDTV modes. The plug, male connector, outside dimensions are 13.9 mm by 4.45 mm, and the receptacle, female connector, inside dimensions are 14 mm by 4.55 mm. Type A is electrically compatible with a single link DVI-D. Type B. This connector, 21.2 mm by 4.45 mm, has 29 pins and can carry 6 differential pairs instead of 3 for use with very high resolution future displays such as WQUXGA, which has 3840 by 2400 resolution. Type B is electrically compatible with dual link DVI-D, but has not yet been used in any products. However, the use of the extra 3 differential pairs is reserved as of 1.3 specification. Type C, a mini connector defined in the HDMI 1.3 specification. It's intended for portable devices. It's smaller than the Type A plug connector, 10.42 mm by 2.42 mm, but has the same 19-pin configuration. The differences are that all positive signals of the differential pairs are swapped with their corresponding shield. The DDC/CEC ground is assigned to pin 13 instead of pin 17. The CEC is assigned to pin 14 instead of pin 13. And the reserve pin is 17 instead of pin 14. The Type C mini connector can be connected to a Type A connector using a Type A to Type C cable. Type D, a micro connector defined in the HDMI 1.4 specification, keeps the standard 19 pins of Types A and C, but shrinks the connector size to something resembling a micro USB connector. The Type D connector is 2.8 mm times 6.4 mm, whereas the Type C connector is 2.42 mm times 10.42 mm. For comparison, a micro USB connector is 1.8 mm times 6.85 mm, and a USB Type A connector is 4.5 mm times 11.5 mm. The pin assignment is different from Type A or C. Type E, automotive connection system defined in HDMI 1.4 specification. The connector has a locking tab to keep the cable from vibrating loose and a shell to help prevent moisture and dirt. A relay connector is available for connecting standard consumer cables to the automotive type. Here's the 5 connectors viewed side by side. How is HDMI different from DVI? The connectors found at the end of these 2 cables are very different looking from each other. One huge difference between these 2 interfaces is that DVI will only carry and transmit video, while the HDMI will carry and transmit both video and audio. Is it smart to buy a $200 or more HDMI cable? Why or why not? You really don't have to worry about paying more than $20 for an HDMI cable. They used to be a lot more expensive, and there's a lot of premium ones you can buy, but I think even the generic ones at shorter lengths are fine for $20, providing crystal clear pictures. Of course, there are commissioned salespeople that will recommend you buy $200 or more HDMI caliber, but industry experts say it's a ripoff. Popular Mechanics did a comparison between HDMI cables that cost $13 to $300. Their conclusion: None of our editors could tell the difference. And CNET agreed, calling $50 cables a ripoff. You shouldn't pay more than $10 for a standard 6-foot HDMI cable. The fact is, HDMI is digital, meaning you either get the feed or you don't. High prices and gimmicks like gold plating don't affect ones and zeros. Here's the kicker. The Popular Mechanics study dates back to 2008. It's 4 or 5 years old. Yet the price of HDMI cables in electronics stores is still off the charts. Obviously, people who don't know better continue to take their advice from commissioned salespeople rather than experts. More evidence? In 2010, tech website CNET agreed with Popular Mechanics. 2 years ago, it declared, "The editors of CNET are so confident that cheap HDMI cables offer identical performance. We've been using inexpensive monoprice HDMI cables in the CNET home theater lab for more than a year with no issues. If cheap HDMI cables are good enough for the eagle-eyed video professionals at CNET, we're betting they're good enough for your home theater." What is DRM, and what does it have to do with HDMI? Digital Rights Management, DRM, is a systematic approach to copyright protection for digital media. The purpose of DRM is to prevent unauthorized redistribution of digital media and restrict the ways consumers can copy content they've purchased. DRM products were developed in response to the rapid increase in online piracy of commercially marketed material, which proliferated through the widespread use of peer-to-peer file exchange programs. Typically, DRM is implemented by embedding code that prevents copying, specifies a time period in which the content can be accessed, or limits the number of devices the media can be installed on.